Good evening, everyone. Today we are here to discuss an important topic that affects not only the space industry but also our future. As civilization, space sustainability, and compliance, addressing the challenges and the maximizing the opportunity in the new frontier. With space activities at an increasing unprecedented pace, there is a growing concern about the sustainability and compliance. As we have seen in the afternoon that people are talking about, and the last panelist when they were talking about the compliance and uh, all those issues they are facing today. So there's no good time to talk about this. So in this presentation, I will explore the challenges and the opportunities of the new frontier and discuss the role that my company Logistics plays in the compliance and sustainability domain. So, not taking much of time, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so one of the biggest challenges facing the space industry today is the growing threat of space debris. With over 34,000 objects larger than 10 centimeters in space orbiting the Earth, collision and the creation of even more debris have become a significant concern. As the number of satellites and debris continues to grow, it is essential to address the issue of the space debris, and where we comes back to the issue of how we track all those. So, as a journalistics, um, we can help in tracking space debris and promoting responsible behavior in space, providing a trusted platform which we already have made and did our alpha for data sharing, ensuring compliance with international space laws and guidelines. So, the critical challenge facing in the space industry is the space traffic management. With over 3,000 active satellites in the orbit, the number of satellites expected to increase tenfold in the next the next decade to prevent collision, reduce amount of debris, and ensure the safety and stability of space activities. A well-managed space traffic system is necessary, and we have developed a management of space traffic by providing a trusted platform uh, and where you can do the navigation and which can be helping us to again promoting the responsible behavior. Coming back, the legal framework in the morning, even the SES friend of mine was she was talking about the legal framework, how crucial it is today. A, to ensuring compliance. So the legal framework is very crucial, ensuring the compliance with the international space laws and guidelines. And the current high-paced development in the space industry, it makes more complicated complications for the people to understand the compliance. So we have come up with the solution. We have made a platform consisting of all the compliant document for the space launches from the Europe as well as the America. Uh, so currently we have stopped utilizing the Russian. We also had the Russian compliance documents with us, as well as the Indian and the Japanese compliance documents and the Chinese. So we have all this platform integrated, and where we you can utilize to have help yourself compliant to the international laws and the treaties already in the space. So it's journalistics is too much towards this, too much inclined towards ensuring the compliance and of the international laws, because as we all know, anything in space is a very anything going into space is critical to the national security. So here are we doing all these things. So, and now the promoting of the space in recent years, there has been growing awareness of the need of sustainability in space activities, leading to the development of various initiatives and guidelines. The European Union has launched the Space Situational Awareness SSA program, which aims to track and monitor space debris to reduce the risk of collisions. The United Nations has launched the Space for Women project, which aims to promote gender equality and women's empowerment in the space sector. As we know, promoting space sustainability is not only just the sustainable way of exploration, but also about diversity, inclusion of one of the company which I advise, which is open, trying to operate as African spaceport. And we have to do this. We have to achieve sustainable goal collectively by diversifying the portfolio, because it has been seen in the past the company which are diverse has achieved great heights than the company who are very who are not diversified. So here Lunatics plays, we have a platform where you can collaborate, create your community, share your data, and you can even earn through it. So the new frontier offers numerous opportunities for space exploration development, including satellite communication, space tourism, asteroid mining. Lunatics can help maximize this opportunity by promoting responsible behavior in space, ensuring compliance with international space laws and guidelines, and providing trusted platform for data sharing. As well as if you see the current situation, uh, the people are talking about space mining. They want to bring gold, tons of gold, or and a rare earth metal to Earth. Uh, but you realize how this economy works, or current economy works of the Earth. It works on the scarcity, whether it is based on oil, which is again it's a scarcity based commodity, or it is based on gold, which is also very rare to find on Earth. If you bring something from outer space with more abundant uh, in nature, which will be catastrophic for the Earth's economy, current economy. Hence, something which is mined in space has to be utilized in space. For that, it has to be traded in space. For that we would be needing a very effective platform to do the in space trading platform, to be very precise for all those things. And we have built that. Logistics already has built that in space trading platform for your minerals, as well as if you see now China is aiming for asteroid mining. Japan is aiming for the asteroid mining. In China, and America is also trying to mine something. And one of my friend from Canada was also trying to mine in asteroids and other exoplanets. But how you're going to allocate those resources? That is a challenge for the space compliance, and we don't want to have a war in space for the resources. So for that, the compliance is very important, and for that, the allocation software is very important. So we have built that. So, and all this has to be trustworthy. We have to create a trust between the people, and there comes the blockchain technology. So, blockchain technology can play a significant role in promoting space sustainability and compliance. Blockchain can help in tracking debris and satellite movements, creating tamper-proof record of the space activities, and promoting responsible behavior in space. So, as you know, like if somebody has to have a relation with someone, if they share document, they have to be sure that it won't be disclosed without their permission. And blockchain provide that freedom to you, which helps the people to uh, have that faith between the people organization. So the blockchain is the key to development of the international collaboration for the compliance, so that how the data you shared is tamper proof, and it is shared as per your will, not as per the people want to. So it is very important to have the blockchain-based solution. Blockchain-based solution can also help in management of the space traffic and compliance of space activities in international law. Knowledge, Logistics act as a regulatory body for the blockchain-based space activities and ensure transparency, accountability, and sustainability in the space. So, as the space industry continues to grow, there is a need of trusted independent regulatory body to ensure responsible behavior in space. And Logistics has developed a blockchain-based regulatory platform promoting space sustainability and compliance by providing a transparent, accountable platform for data sharing, establishing a standards for responsible behavior in space, and ensuring compliance with the international space laws and guidelines. With Lunatics as a trusted partner, the space industry can continue to explore and develop the new frontier while ensuring a safe, sustainable, and prosperous future for all. In conclusion, space sustainability and compliance are essential for the future of civilization. Logistics can play a crucial role in promoting a responsible behavior in space by providing trusted platform for data sharing, establishing standards for responsible behavior, and ensuring compliance with international space laws and guidelines. Let us work together to ensure a sustainable and prosperous future for the humanity in the new frontier. Thank you very much. So yeah, I think Nicholas, I'm done. If anybody has some question, they can ask. And thank
Perfect,
you.
wonderful. So while the
And
audience will be placing their questions in the Q&A, I want to thank you first of all for your
yeah,
presentation.
yeah,
Um,
I'm very much thankful for you, Nicholas, as well as Martin. I was not able to give much of time to you when Martin asked for the call, but yeah, I'm really
that's
thankful for the providing us the opportunity to be here, and it's a really great conference. I'm really enjoying it.
perfect, Vishal. Thank you. Appreciate again those words, and we're really enjoying also your presentation, and we're honored to have you as one of the speakers for us. So it's very important for us that you're here. And now moving into the questions, while the audience will again come up with their questions and place it in the chat box, I will ask you some questions from my side.
Yeah,
So
sure.
can you elaborate on the key challenges that are faced in ensuring space sustainability and compliance, and how Logistics is addressing these challenges through its initiatives?
So first of the greatest challenge the industry is facing, that is the unawareness of the regulation, and it is one of the biggest challenge that people like they are the people. If you go back, they are the youngster opening up the space company, and they're getting stuck because they are not aware. Like okay, these are the compliance they need to follow. Like they are the national laws which prohibit you from taking funding from some sources. So you can't just like some companies getting funds but not able to who succeed with their mission because of the unawareness of the laws. So what we do is what we did is like we created all the digital forms and licenses you need to have before launching anything to space. Either you are a launcher, or you are going to for ride share, or you are going as a payload on a rocket. What are the all documents you have to do, as well as the testing. The other another issue for the space companies is the testing platform. Like if you see, all the countries have very specific testing areas where they can go and perform their tests. And there are a lot of standard tests has to be taken place before you are launching something into space, and that has to be followed a proper procedure. So what we did, we created a platform over a blockchain so that your data is secure, where you can just come with your idea, and we will help you with everything. Like we have our experts, space experts, and tie-ups with the universities for your testing processes, as well as for making you compliant for the funding. If you need funding, we have our own investors group which can help you to fund, and we can take you there if you have the sustainable idea. Another issue in sustainability, if you know that NASA, the biggest, one of the largest space explorer on Earth, is not secure. Like it's a government, but it's not insured. There's no insurance covering the NASA. And when you go back to SpaceX, there are many missions there that is not like insured. So insurance is lacking because of the lack of trust, right? Insurance works on the trust. So what we are trying to build is a trust through a blockchain platform where you can do all your documentation, regulatory things, as well as you can do your testing procedures, so that you are being trusted, and you can track and trace every single step you did in your from funding to testing.
Perfect, wonderful. So thanks again for explaining in a thorough detail. That's exactly what I wanted to hear when I asked you the question. The next question that I have for you, Vishal, is what role do you see for the international cooperation in promoting space sustainability and compliance, and how can stakeholders collaborate effectively to achieve this goal?
So first of thing is we have to identify that we are not going to have the war in the space for the resources. If we identify the problem, then we can talk about solution. And we have to identify that not a single because if you've heard the people, the amount of resources required is like very large to go to the moon when you are lifting something from Earth. And if you're utilizing out of like you are having some in a space refueling centers and all those things. So these are the major challenges. It can't be solved with the one nation solving this issue, or two nations solving this issue. It has to be done with a collaboration. Once we identify this as a problem, like this has to be done with a collaboration. So there will be always a platform where the collaboration has to be done, right? Where you can trust, like you see VFS for the visa processing. Everyone, all the embassies, countries trust the VFS for their documentation and secure because they keep the documentation very secure. Similarly, we have to come up, and this is how we build the logistics. It will be a VFS for your space missions. You come up with your documentation. We will do all. We will care of just keep up with your things. We will help you with the complete documentation, procedures, everything, and you get your visa to space. So this is the way it has to come up. And how the stakeholders will be paying their role, it depends on them, right? There are a lot of stakeholders which are already working on sustainable goals. Like the European Space Agency already have started tracking, SSA has already started tracking the space objects, space debris, and people in the United States, NASA and JAXA has come up with one mission to clean the space debris. So all the people are coming up, and one has to realize that we have to come up together. It has to be done. Space is not a place to go alone. It is a place to go together. And these kind of platforms where these discussions are happening will be shaping the future. But again, there's another issue which we are facing currently. All our decision about the space industry is taken by the bureaucrats, not the space engineers or the scientists. This is we don't have anybody from the space industry as a politician keeping our word in and our stands, though they might be consulting the few, but we don't have our people out there who's representing, who are elected by the space companies. So there needs to be an union kind of thing between the space organization across the globe to come up with the frontation with the government across different states as well as different countries, where they confront government, oh, this is the need, this is required, you have to pass the bill for this, and then only a framework will develop. And uh, I think this is the only way, like where you have a blockchain based platform to build a trust between, because a trust is very important, and only trust could be built when you are sure that you are not being cheated by somebody else. And which blockchain, because and blockchain is always seen, whenever I talk about blockchain, people think, okay, it's something crypto, but crypto is one child of blockchain. Crypto or currency is one child of blockchain. There's a lot many other things which can be done. So yeah, so as I see, the future is like a blockchain based platform to build a trust where you share data and you get compliant. So this is my answer to that question, and I think if that answers.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. It does. And also a great point that you brought up regarding the, space industry not having this involvement, right? From, as you said, the political side as much. And then, it's not only the political side, also we need the workforce to be more involved, and a lot of individuals to be more aware of the space industry and to bring them in, and also with the investors and all other stakeholders. So how do you reckon, Vishal, how can we collectively as an industry make sure that this happens, basically, that we have the individuals there, if it's politicians and other parties that are cheering for the space industry to again evolve and to grow and scale? So how do we make sure that that happens?
So for this to happen, it start to be a STEM education, like the Altair Academy. Like it has to be start with the STEM education. One has to understand, if you go in a normal engineering or a graduation undergrad school, people look for what brings them a money. Where are the companies? There are more companies in IT sector. There are very less companies in the space sector, which provides you high paying job.
Mhm.
So all on there, the startup has to be pushed. The capital has to be invested in the startup. And as we were having this last panel discussion, people were telling, back in 80s and 60s, people are more eager to invest in space, but now there's a more competitiveness. If I invest a dollar in, let's say, in space industry, and I spend a dollar in the IT industry like Facebook or some other FMCG goods, it will grow in like 2 to 3 years, and space industry will take its own time because it's research based. So
And plus there's higher risks in the space industry as well,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, so we have seen the greatest failure like that. There's a one NASA mission failure of $1.6 billion back in 1992. So $1.6 billion back in that time is like current valuation would be
5
16
billion
billion
right now,
dollars.
yeah, maybe
No, no,
more.
16 billion dollars.
16.
So,
Oh, okay, so that's, yeah.
so, so these kind of challenges are like it has to be state as well as the VCs funding has to be more inclined towards space.
Mhm.
Not only towards the small sets, because the current current investments are going either in the launch vehicle or the small satellites, which can give you the some remote sensing data for a shorter period of lifespan, like 5 years, 4 years, 3 years. We need longer term investments, long term investments, so that a new player can come up, new players will come up, the job opportunity will be there, and the STEM will engage into it. So the thing is, like, if you want to increase the awareness, you have to increase the people who are in the space industry. For increasing the people in the space industry, you need to do the STEM education. And if you want to do the STEM education, you have to make sure the people who are graduating with the space with expertise in space get the proper jobs.
Mhm.
So it's all connected. Like it has to be a circular economy. Is so this is all will start with the funding, state funding, VC funding, angel funding. It has to be a greater chunk of the investment should go to the space because it is the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point that all of those parts have to move together and all of them have to be scaling at the same time in order to just support each other's development. Absolutely. So there's a question from Mikhail in the chat, and he is asking, it's almost a follow-up question to the previous panel. That again, you also mentioned, I think you attended a
Yeah.
part of it, as you said. So there was just simply no more time on the agenda to continue that panel. As I mentioned, the panel could have just went on
Yeah.
for a couple hours probably. So the question for you, Vishal, is that Michal is interested in your opinion. How do you think countries will share lunar natural resources? So, for example, if US and China land next to the same water, helium or regolith pile, how will they decide how to mine it jointly? As currently, no nation or entity has the right to own the resources, right? But still,
Yeah.
there will be a moment that we will have to mine it to utilize it. So how will that be played out?
So, like before pre-COVID, it was more of scenario that UN will take care. INOSA, they formed INOSA, will take care of this. But after post-COVID, things has been changed. The outlook of the industry has been changed. Things in the industry is quickly developing, and people are losing their trust in these organizations when they saw the reluctance. So yeah, it's a very good question. How they will come up, but if they don't come up, then let's go with the other scenario. If they don't come up with this sharing solution, it will be a nuclear war in space, and we will be back to the era of World War I and World War II, which was happening for the resources. So,
Yeah.
if we want to keep the peace uh, going in, like if some war starts at one place between two nations, it starts on Earth also, and it's a catastrophic effect for the war to happen. So if you want to have sustainable economy in space, you have to come up with uh, a platform where you are not targeting the same resource. First of all, if your mission is landing, it should land in a different places, a different targeting different resources. Which again, on my last slide, I told you about the asset allocation platform. It's very important. Like you have to, regulatory body has to be formed across the globe, which has to allocate that, okay, this nation is targeting this, they have invest this much, so they will be going and they will mine this area. This has to be done.
Yeah,
That
I
is the
agree with that. Yeah, that's good
yeah.
in splitting again the landing sites and locations. But unless we come across the problem, which, what if there's only one location with the very important, again, resources that, all the countries want to get in their hands, right? So then it
So
becomes a bit complicated, but I
Yeah,
guess
it's
cooperation
uh,
and sharing is the way to go, I believe so.
sharing is caring. It's been
Yeah.
I always tell my 2 years 2 years old nephew, sharing is caring, and that is the only thing which can.
Absolutely, but also we see the cases that we cannot share things here on Earth as well, right? So there's a lot of political
Yeah,
cases and turmoils happening at the moment as well. So
and
if we cannot share things on Earth, how can we make sure that we're gonna
and
share? Yeah.
that's where journalistics come in. That's where we need to have a trust. Okay, we will share. We will come up with a blockchain based platform of the sharing allocation, so that there's a trust built. Blockchain is about trust, because you say something and you can't change it later. If you change it, all the records are there, which can't be vanished. It is tamper proof. So these are things which has to be discussed at a more higher level. And when you talk about the like when they are targeting one resource, let's say they find a huge resource of cadmium, lithium, or more rare earth, uh, rhodium. Let's say rhodium, they find rhodium on moon. And that is the only one crater, Shackleton crater is having that. Let's say it, Shackleton crater is having the highest source of that thing. That has to be divided according to a complete union, like the one who has the capability. First of
Mhm.
all, the mission which went to find it and has the capability, it has to given the first chance, because we can't have like 20 missions for the same thing, because it's again very expensive to send a 20 mission to the moon.
I
So
agree. I agree. And another thing is, do you believe there should be some sort of a either political or any other form of punishment for the countries or states or even corporations that will be again abusing those ethical norms when again dealing with those
yes,
problems?
first we need to form those ethical norms and have a
Exactly. Yeah,
stringent
that's my
rules.
point as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen in a day or two, but these kind of small efforts from us, from these will always go and ring the bell in the ears of the people who actually make the policies. And
Mhm.
they will come in a forum when they can't come on board for one kind of thing. Now it's very difficult to make them on our same page, but somehow we have to do it. That's only how this humankind will flourish. Otherwise, it will be another war, another war, another war. And my aim of starting this company was to just avoid another war in space.